Babybeard had indeed told the entire back office her side of the story, and I got plenty of angry glances and unfriendly remarks for the next couple of weeks.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying?
Hello friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving back into r/LegbeardStories. Yes, indeed, we are about due for either a Babybeard or an unfortunate or perhaps one of those other Legbeard stories that's floating around out there. But actually, if you want me to be 100% honest, yeah, it's Babybeard. It's about time to roll it back around. Unfortunately, probably within the next day or so. I've also seen some other new sagas that are pretty interesting. We can open those on up because some of the stuff that's supposed to be going isn't quite going as quickly as I would hope that it would. But that's okay. Don't worry about it too much. You can't rush art. You know what I'm saying? Especially cringe art, because it takes quite a little bit to make that really pop. You know, that spinal cord. Yesterday, we had quite a few spines cracking. We were going for that Guinness World Record of simultaneous spine fractures, but we didn't all do it at the same time. So hopefully this episode will have like one big punchy moment where we can all just, I don't know, take a trip to the chiropractor or something like that. I'm totally rambling, but I guess you guys are used to that by now. We're going to jump into the story. Let's get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this Legbeard Stories cringe. A Loathsome, Lazy Legbeard, Chapter 2. Liar, Liar, which is a pretty good Jim Carrey movie, but we're not talking about Jim Carrey today.
Oh, come on!
Except we just did. So it's kind of magic how that happens. Hello, my wonderful people. Hi, little Edwards. We're all here. I am back once again to entertain you further with my tales from my workplace. The beard breeding ground, that is local government. Yeah, I'm quite surprised, but also not surprised. Where we last cut off, Babybeard had left me alone to do a two-person job, and when confronted the next day, somehow convinced me that I was in the wrong. Yeah, that was a really frustrating ending. You laid it down quite flat for her, and then you just wind it all back when she started giving you the crocodile tears. Just finish her off. She starts crying, hit her in the head again until she stops crying. At the end of the day, my supervisor called me to his desk. Let's just jump right into that story, starting with the cast list. Woodsy, 8 SROP, 24, turning 25, small girl, active in the gym, still had no idea I had a genetic condition and just thought that I was very clumsy. Colored hair and blue eyes. I just started at my job, and being a bit of an overachiever, I really can't help it. I'm just kind of wired that way. When I meet new people, especially a lot of new people at once, I do one of two things. Either I go full entertainer and basically play class clown, or I go 100% stealth mode, speak when spoken to, keep your ears open and your mouth shut, scope the place out, if you will. At the office, I had gone with option 2. I was quiet and reserved, and mostly I just listened. I love a bit of drama. Why else would I love Neckbeard stories so much? But only from afar. I hate conflict, and I do not deal with it very well. I think either one of those two options is to be expected from most people. Personally, I go with class clown if there's somebody that I would like to impress or be friends with. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just kick back. I don't care. Watch the drama unfold. As I grow older and older, decide there's less and less people to impress, yeah, I get more reserved, whatever. The exception is this YouTube channel. Babybeard, of course, is an annoying 32-year-old that thought because she was older than me that she was allowed to boss me around. sturdy and slightly rotund woman, average height, which meant that she towered over me. Babybeard had apparently fallen into her grandmother's closet one day and had just decided that this was the best that the world could offer. Mothballs and all. She was in it to the end, dressed top to bottom like an 80-year-old. All the way down to her orthopedic shoes. Her square face and protruding jaw accentuated that old lady vibe, because added with lips so small they seemed to have disappeared altogether, she kinda looked like she had no teeth. Oh, this is just a tragedy. She's old on the inside. She's only 32, but she walks around, she's like, I'm older than you, I'm older than you. Maybe she's like an ancient vampire or something like that. Been a while since we had a legbeard vampire, isn't it? Although OP does want to make it clear that she did have teeth. Don't worry, it just kinda looked like she didn't. The entire assembly was topped off with giant glasses and hair that was sternly tied into a knot on the back of her head, where throughout the day, more and more hairs would slowly escape from it. I think you got that weird little wiry bushy thing hanging off the back of your head. Oh, that's disgusting. Wrap it back up. She also has a lot of like one-upsmanship kind of unfortunate-looky vibes going, lots of manipulation. I mean, if you listen to the first part, then you probably know all that already, but I do want to make it very clear during the cast list as well. Oh, and I probably also need to mention that, part one, previous parts in the description and or comments if I remembered. Lady is a character that briefly appeared in the last story, and one of the few co-workers that I had a great connection with, and who actually knew her job, which is almost unheard of in government. She was one of the co-workers that trained me, and she was an introverted but pretty funny woman. She avoided conflict like the plague, but loved nothing more than to enjoy the drama from afar. I think that she would probably love this subreddit. Her desk was in the front office just like mine, so we spent a lot of time together before we moved to another floor and we had a shared desk policy. Shared desk. God, that sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, these budget cuts have been hell, I'm gonna tell you what. You probably could have shared a desk with her and been okay, but I know that OP got a desk with somebody who's less enjoyable. However, her suffering is our gain. As heartless as it may be to say that. Tom is the supervisor. He was a very introverted man, and although I liked him very much as a person, he was just not meant to be a supervisor. Didn't we meet him in Lavender I'm pretty sure. He hated conflict, and when an incident arose, he usually just tried to get away from it as fast as possible. Yeah, not meant to lead for sure. Needless to say, this is not a great trait for someone who is supposed to be the mediator, but now and then he would come through for you. This is one of those tales. He was a very sweet person, always got my jokes even when no one else did. A very calm and collected person who knew everything about the laws pertaining to nationality, births, recognition, gender and name changes, and alteration of said acts. Basically everything we did in our part of the government office. This dude was a walking encyclopedia. He also had his desk in the front office. Yeah, honestly, you gotta admire his knowledge, but having that much knowledge does not automatically qualify somebody for a leadership position. That's just how it be. Place him as a reference so that he can help other people to excel, right? But government doesn't think flexibly like that. They're like, yeah, you've been here long enough. You're the supervisor now. He's clearly not comfortable. Please leave Tom alone. We've also got Agatha, a 60-plus-year-old lady, also mentioned in part one. Very sweet and kind, albeit a bit old-fashioned. She was one of my educators when I first started. She worked mostly in the back office, though. Kind and gentle, but a bit of a gossip. As many 60-year-old ladies are wont to be, I do suppose. And yeah, old-fashioned. Of course she's old-fashioned. She's 60 years old. Let her be old-fashioned if she wants to. At least she's not 32 dressing up like she's 80. Babybeard, looking at you. That's probably the only time that somebody's looked at her in a very long time. That's it for now, but I will have to add some people next story. Oh, we got some Edgar Allan Poe type of parody, which is just beautiful. Once upon a workday dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many quaint and crude of bearded nature such a bore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of some unfriendly snapping at me. What a chore! 'Tis some beard, I muttered, tapping at my desk. What for? Only this, and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember it was in the bleak morning, and each separate dying nerve wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my work cerise of sorrow, sorrow from the bearded boar, and for the rare and unfriendly maiden, whom the demons named Baby, painful here for evermore. You know what I'm talking about? I'm more of a pit and the pendulum guy myself, but you can't knock the raven too hard. Chapter 2, we are into the story now. It is called Liar, Liar. I hope you will enjoy. So my supervisor called me to my desk and asked me to sit down. That's not good. That's always the start of something bad, isn't it? I was confused since usually our conversations were held each at our own personal desks. Woodsy, he began, Babybeard was here this morning and she asked for a private chat with me. My heart dropped to my stomach, but I just stayed quiet and waited. She told me that you'd been mean to her all week, and that yesterday you left her after calling her a bitch and left her to do all the work by herself. I'd like to hear your side of the story first. Been mean to me all week? What are we, in high school? Is this not a professional organization? Oh, supervisor, she's so mean to me. Why don't you grow up? You said it yourself, you're older than me, so none of this should mean anything, right? And then add on top of that the fact that Woodsy literally did nothing to this woman. She's just trying to get ahead of the game by making her own accusations, lest any accusations be leveled against her. I don't even want to call this high school stuff. This is like elementary school stuff, where you punch a kid and then you run up to the teacher and say, whatever he says is a lie. Yeah, I totally buy that. All right. But luckily, yeah, the supervisor's not an idiot and wants to get both sides. I was stunned for a second. Excuse me, what? The anger that had subsided throughout the day and had severely diminished after Babybeard's crying suddenly flared up again. I tried very calmly to tell him my side of the story. Whether or not I succeeded in this, I don't really know. You would have to ask him. What I do know is that my thoughts are usually very easily read upon my face. See, I don't lie. I don't always tell the whole truth or not answer the question, but I make it a habit not to lie unless I absolutely have to, or unless I've lost all respect for you and then I basically don't care. But that doesn't mean that I can't lie. In my opinion, however, lying usually just leads to more problems than it solves. I also hate it when people lie about me or to me, which is exactly what Babybeard is doing. I try to make it a habit not to lie either, but to say that I don't lie, that I've never lied, that is a bold-faced lie right there. Of course I have. I haven't done it any time in recent years, but yeah, I used to lie a lot to avoid conflict or to make myself look better, stuff like this. Yeah, I'm just too old. I don't have the energy to juggle these lies anymore. Woodsy's right. The truth is just a lot easier to maintain. Lying never solves problems. I highly encourage you to also throw that out if you do make a habit of lying. So yeah, I told Tom what Babybeard had said to me in the morning and what my thoughts were on that. I also got a little bit pissy when I told him that I was the one that had stayed, and she was the one that had left. And if he wanted to see who was lying, all we had to do was check whose signature was under every alteration. There you go. Proof positive. Lying never helps. Babybeard just shot herself in the foot. Because, yeah, we have to sign everything, so I have no idea how Babybeard honestly thought she would get away with this lie. She thought nobody would check, that everybody is as ignorant to the job being done as she is, I suppose. After I finished my story, Tom sighed. I figured as much, he said, rubbing his face. She was crying and bawling her eyes out and screaming that you were bullying her, but it just didn't sit right with me. I'll handle it. And with that, he let me go home. Are you gonna beat her up? Are you gonna fire her? Can I make some suggestions on what her punishment should be? No, just go home? All right, I guess. Considering that Tom avoids conflict, as we learned in the cast list, I don't think he's gonna hang her out to dry like I would hope for, but she definitely does deserve it, at the very least. So, the next day, Babybeard snuck to Tom's desk and asked if they could talk privately. The acoustics in the front office weren't great, and since my desk was only about 4 meters away from Tom's, I could hear everything. Tom just said, no, and went back to work. That good old cold shoulder, man, let me tell you. But, Babybeard sputtered, it's about yesterday. She tried to whisper, but it was more of a loud wheezing. I don't think that there should be a bully in our midst. The irony. Oh, God. You're absolutely right, Tom said, and opened a drawer in his desk. He took out a stack of papers and dropped them in front of Babybeard. Is this your handwriting? He said. No, Babybeard muttered, flustered. Is your last name Woodsy? Babybeard. No. Her lips started quivering. Oh yeah, here come the crocodile tears. Tom's got such like a passive-aggressive management style, but I'm digging this. Are you sure that you want to continue this conversation? Tom asked calmly. God damn, I love it. He doesn't want to do anything about it, but he does want to let her know that he knows. Babybeard had tears running down her face as she uttered a last hiccuping, no, and she ran out of the front office. Well, that didn't go the way she expected, I'm sure. I thanked Tom, and he gave a slight chuckle. Meanwhile, Lady and Tammy, who's a coworker that I have yet to introduce, just kinda stared. Eventually, Lady asked me, what happened? I told her not to worry about it. But then I changed my mind. That's right, you set the version of events straight. If you don't tell Lady what actually happened, then you know Babybeard's gonna swoop in there at some point and fill her ears full of lies. It's not even really fighting fire with fire, it's fighting fire with the truth. You might hear a different version, so it might not be a bad idea for you to hear the actual version of events. I made a quick summary of what had happened, and I'm still glad that I did this, because Babybeard had indeed told the entire back office her side of the story, and I got plenty of angry glances and unfriendly remarks for the next couple of weeks.
Why the f you lying? Why you always lying?
Whatever, bro. I ain't even gonna worry too much about that. You didn't even ask to hear the other side. You heard one version of events and you're like, well, that must be the truth. You are not critical thinkers, and therefore I don't really care about your opinion. Glance at me angrily all you want. You're gonna be dead before I am, and that means I win. People didn't know us yet, and Babybeard was a very loud person, always wanting to be the center of attention. I generally kept to myself, so yeah, people didn't really know who I was. So when Babybeard told one side and I told another, they were inclined to believe her. This, however, would not last. Yeah, once people realize what kind of person she is, it's all gonna fall apart pretty quick. I'll be waiting for my apology that almost certainly will never come. I hope Babybeard gets fired, man. I hope she gets that old lavender beard treatment. Comes back into the office crying, I'm older, I should be able to keep my job. Being older does not mean that we have to keep you employed if you suck at your job. Over the next few weeks, we were taught everything about work in the front and back office. I started in the front, she started in the back, and after 2 weeks, we switched. There was a gap growing between our abilities, needless to say. And given the fact that there was a lot of gossiping going around, people talked. That's probably the thing I hate the most about working in an office. All this office politics going on. Everybody's got a favorite. Did you hear that such and such did this and that? Like, shut up, dude. We're here to work and get a paycheck. Just leave me alone with all that. Although, I must admit that I was party to it when I was working the inventory management thing. You just kind of get caught up, don't you see? It's the office culture, and only once you're outside of it do you realize what actual cancer it is. More than once, a coworker complained to me that Babybeard just wasn't growing as fast as me. It's because she's older. She can't grow as fast. In the beginning, I would interject and point out that I started in the front office, so I had more practical knowledge. But when I started handling citizens by myself and she was still only allowed to work supervised, the gap surely grew even wider. I knew Baby was comparing us, and I didn't want her to disdain me any more than she already did because of the gossip. The problem was that they were right. The second problem was that Baby had started taking it out on me. She'd started doing this very strange thing where she would constantly ask me for help even after the whole "don't tell me what to do, you wench" incident. But she would also berate me when I would try to explain it or teach her how to find the information for herself. Well, this is just an absolute mess. I will say that it is a good thing that she got the shorter contract. We can get rid of her as soon as possible. She just ain't gonna last, man. How are you so horrible at everything you touch and still have a superiority complex about it? The math just doesn't add up. Babybeard was also very adept at the backhanded compliment. She'd say things like, "I wish I had so much time to spend on trivial things like you do, but I have a fiancé." Yeah, that fiancé that can't even fix a friggin' bicycle tire. I don't know if I'd brag too much about that, dude. Or she'd say, "It's amazing that you wear what you want, no matter what people have to say about you." Or even once when I wore my glasses to work, she said, "Lol, you look almost intelligent with those on." God damn it, dude. I don't know how you just sit there and take all this. Didn't you at least try to fire something back her way a little bit? Be like, hey, if your mind was as mature looking as your body, then you probably would have got an extended contract, right? But you're old and you act like a child. See, it's double-edged. That's why it's nice. But OP would usually respond in a sarcastic way after quickly realizing that Babybeard did not understand sarcasm, or I would just pretend that I didn't hear her and ask her to repeat it. Yeah, can you repeat that like 5 times? A little bit louder. Into the tape recorder, please. We're building a harassment case against you that you don't know about. Baby mostly focused on 3 things. My clothes, the fact that I apparently was an idiot, or that I was a boring person. I mean, all 3 of those things are basically such non-issues, you know? If somebody's reaching that hard to find an insult, then I actually feel pretty good about it, you know? You're not insulting my looks or something that I can't change. You're just reaching for anything to make yourself feel better. And honestly, if it's an option between being a boring person or being Babybeard, I'm gonna pick being a boring person every single time. So when I bought Doc Martens combat boots, I loved them. I still have them. They are my babies. Doc Martens are freaking awesome. Punk as hell, boy.
Killer boots, man!
She just had to say something.
Wow, you're so brave for wearing something like that to work. I could never wear something like that.
Yeah, because your feet is too fat. Get out of my face. I looked up and smiled as I looked her up and down. Then I looked her straight in the eyes and just said, likewise. Yeah, get out of here with your grandma clothes. Boy, let her have some heat, OP.
What do you mean by that?
She growled. I kept my smile firmly planted on my face when I innocently asked her, why are you getting angry? What did you mean by what you said? Baby's face made a series of contortions. She was stuck, and she knew it. After about a minute of figuring out how to respond without admitting she was insulting me, she just stomped off as I heard a slight chuckle from Tom's desk. Oh, the passive aggression is too strong, man. I think it is better in a lot of cases. I would go aggressive and let her know we are not friends, we will never be friends. But that's not necessarily conducive to the office environment, you see. I like OP's way of doing stuff. I'm gonna have to try it out one of these days. So that's where I'm gonna leave this post for now. I've not proofread this, so sorry for the undoubtedly numerous spelling and formatting errors. I'll take you further into the belly of the Babybeard and deeper into this cringe. I hope that you enjoyed this chapter. It only gets even cringier from here on out. Until next time, my dear readers. Also, Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas. Yeah, we missed this one by a mile. Don't worry about that none too much. I'm here now. I'm doing the thing. It is so insanely obvious to me how little Babybeard thinks of herself when she's trying to drag everybody down into the mud with her. Part of me does want to feel bad for her, show her some sympathy, but that's all part of the trap. You see, you can't show her any sympathy. Like I said, she starts crying, just keep hitting her until she stops. Eventually she'll pass out. Eventually you'll knock some sense into her. At least I can hope that much. I do love the fact that she gets caught left and right in this episode. Like, obviously, if you were as smart as you think you are, then you wouldn't have gotten caught in all this stuff, right? But she doesn't even have the self-reflection to be like, maybe I'm not as intelligent as I think I am. Because that false perception of intelligence is really all she has. She's like, if Peggy Hill and Unfortunate Nookie had a baby, right? That's the only thing that I can compare it to. Think she's absolutely brilliant while everybody around her is just looking at each other going, oh my God, what an idiot. It does make for some deliciously pathetic bumbling beard cringe, so I gotta thank you for that much, OP. I hope that you guys enjoyed this story. If you did, I hope that you'll like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe share the video around. I definitely always appreciate that. Super big brain play. We got all kinds of links in the description as well for you to click around on. Playlists if you're looking for a different flavor from the channel. Podcasts, you know, Spotify, iTunes, basically everywhere on the internet. We've also got plugs of all sorts. Amazon affiliate link currently goes to my microphone. But if you click through by anything else, I get kicked back a few bucks, which is cool. Mine and my wife's channel, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX. We've also got the Teespring if you're trying to rock the merch. Oh, can't forget about my social medias. Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Ooh, I haven't been posting much lately. Kind of been a ghost online, but I guess that's all right. You can still say hello if you want. We've also got my Patreon, of course, and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. We're going to speed through it today. I would like to thank them, Jerry much. So thank you. Robert Waits, Camille Sarah, Logan Wolf, Conrad India, Captain Clown, Jerry, Hong Kong, Aaron W, Twisted Child, Sarah Warner Wedge, Simma Susie, For All Blank Sign, Fire Drake, Ayurari, wants to change her name, but is too proud of the Jerry spelling. Go ahead, mix it up. That's all right. Jari the Pirate, how topical. Silent Revolver, the OG Jerry, Jerry's Flourish, Kitsune, Satori, 211 Jerry, The Return of Jerry, a Jerry, a Jubilee Jerry's, fuck, Jesse Dargonia Jerry, Illunia Demonista, Althea Blue, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Atheist Jerry, he's so euphoric, Aurora Wildheart, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch out for that guy, Mitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blip Blip Jerry, Blue Dubs, Commander J Tank, Confederate Jew, oh boy, oh no, Dayton won't, bruh, I did already, look at the name, represent, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Dr. Larks, Emergent Jewel, Aaron Lennox, fell down this pipe, running from a walking mushroom thing with eyes, ended up in the agate, smelling ball here, it's Mr. J, okay, Mr. J, we'll send somebody, Frozen Over Studios, Jim C, Adrian BR, I can't help falling in love with Jerry. I'm Slim Darius, I'm the real Jerry. All you other Slim Jerrys are just imitating Irish pirates. Again, top of the barn into ya. Itchy nuts, you just scratched it, bro. A pimp named J. Crisp. Yes, you have to say the whole thing. J.M. Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerry Smith, Barbatus, Sir Ruckus. That sounds pretty piratical too. Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Nice, Jerry Evil, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, honk honk. Jerry was a race car driver, but my super's in the shop, so he stands undefeated. Only for a time. John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt. Oh my god, that's my name too, bro. Simple fuck as if you're poofing, it's free. Judge Jerry, I am the beard. AJW, oh Crewey, Miss Monday, Lord Jerry O, Lady Dix. Still a Jerry, just a boring one. That's okay. Marble Cake Jerry, that's like a Jerry Fusion. Melgar the Destroyer, Metal Spectre, definitely not Arthur Henry, because I never heard of that guy. Mr. Carrot 797, Mikola Demikiev, Natari, Nightmare Jerry, Orgamer Jerry Steve, Patron Saint of Chicken Nuggies, Saint Jerry, Ramen, Phantom of the Mind, Jerrykins and Jerry Beth, Rose Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Sassy Octopus, Silo him, slipped on the marble and entered the Neckbeard world. Welcome to my world. Staples, aka Jerry Eats, Stephanie Gooder, Side Out the Boomstick, Tomago, Freddy the Police, Tenson Monster, Duachu Fusky, Tom, but it's the Jerry on the inside that counts. Church, Viking Jerry, Willbags, Comrade Mooney, Kira, you're a wizard Jerry, Redwind, Non-Viper, Side Jerry the Cyborg, Saints Blessing, a normal Jerry, totally normal. Come to think of it, what would be the criteria for a Jerry berry? Taste? Texture? Can you make it into a yam or a pie? A yam? Jam, yes. Yam, no. Hunter of Jerry's remember all things tasty. It's Tom, A, Admiral T, Tank, Emerald Alder, an unfortunately survivor, Atomic Jerry Zilla, Breaker of the Tom Army, AZ, Babsy Goon, Babushka's Radiated Jam, Bartender, Kirlia, Broken Spine, Horse Radish, the original different Jerry, that's Cake Jerry, California Jerry Girl, Chevron 7 Locked, Corporal Admiral, Lieutenant, Private General, Trigger Princess, Furry Werewolf Jerry. Yeah, kinda got it. Cryptiddies, Divine Jerry, Dopamine, Dangerous. We get OD. Electrical Fennec. Gave her both inches. And then she asked if I had any single friends. Oh, snap. You better not give her my number, though. My wife was gonna kill her. Ghost of Alpha, He Knot, HMT Mayor, Holy Mary Jerry, Hydra Jerry Solomon, a proud name to carry, Janitor Jerry. Where do all these marbles keep coming from? Jeffrey, Gerald, Tavrimia, Jerry and Tom versus Happy New Year's, Webby Apocalypse, Jerry the Sussy Baka, Jerry's mom has got it going on, Jerry Older Rivera, fan favorite, check out that mustache, Jerry Bean, Yum, Jerry Roxas, yay, Jerry's SDI pit maneuver with the band to save the marbles, hooray, that's where all the marbles came from, Jerry role-playing game, Judge Jerry and Executioner, Kid Marvelous, Do Perfect, King Tom, Kid's a Kid, Life of Guardian, Little Edwards, Lucia Lovecraft, Chia, CD, maybe next time, Milk Fat Kim, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, I see you, oh my god, one like Jerry found a key and some pancakes, how did this happen? We're gonna cam, I think we lost the plot of the Marble Jerry. What the hell? Ghosty Raptor, Cheese by Jerry Pie, Cool Drink of Mountain Dew. Oh, I'm supposed to sing it. God damn it. Sheep Steve, Snary, that's not Jerry. Smoothie the Rogue, Spoopy, Scary, Jerry Dunn, Steve McGelly, Techno Dubs, The Gaslighting Jerry. Help, I'm the real Red. Terry stole my channel. You didn't know what to do with it anyway. I'm in charge now. The Necro Jerry Con, the original Jerry, not. New Infinite Jerry and beyond, definitely. Two Division Jerry Bench to escape from Emerald Top 2 to Cannery. Next challenge, 1 million subscribers. Check it out. Tom Promise, Jerry Slans, Auto Bad Jerry Tom, Good Boy, No Switch, Face, Size, Gold, Up, I need the rice meal. Thanks. And of course, thank you to all of my $1 patrons as well, beautiful people that they are.
As always, the patrons, just thank you so much, you guys. Definitely rough months, January and February on YouTube, so it's especially important to get those patron pledges in. If you can do it, I would thank you very much. Add you to this list. Thank you 30 times a month, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watch some old ReddX videos. Pretty please. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, friends, bye-bye.